the Greatness Quest. This is Trevor Crane, and every week I'm bringing you someone extraordinary to blow up your business. This week is Ryan Stewman joining me here. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on, dude.
You got it. Now, Ryan is also known as the hardcore closer. He actually was the #1 income earner in the mortgage industry for the biggest company in the biggest state in the country. This cat knows how to sell. He knows how to close. And we're going to get deep here because I want to talk to him about how he gets high-paying clients and actually some things that he's doing right now to serve his client that may not want to pay him a bunch of money just yet, but they need a stair step of how to get in there. So anyway, brother, thanks for being here and sharing your mojo.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm excited to be on here and just be able to, sometimes when we get on something like this, we say something that some people have heard a million times over and over again, or it's common sense that they already know. But sometimes if you just stick on something like this, you stick with it to the end, there might be one sentence that changes your entire life, right? I know it's happened to me before. There might be one word track where you're like, dude, that would totally help me kill it in my business. I had no idea. Why didn't I think of that? It's like the Snuggie. All along, we've been trying to figure out where to put our damn hands inside of like a blanket and stuff. Meanwhile, somebody's like cut holes in it and sew some sweaters on. He's worth $1 billion freaking now. So you never know, right?
All right. So if you want a Snuggie, if you want to find that next $1 billion idea, you better stick to the end of this interview because we're going to cover a lot of cool stuff. And I know you've got a giveaway as well. I'm going to put that link up so you guys can get the giveaway. But, you want to stick to the end of this because some of the things Ryan's doing right now you can use in your business. I'm planning on I'm going to interview you, brother, so that I get to know that stuff that I can use in my business. I know we have some mutual friends, someone else, Corey Shanes that I interviewed, and I know you guys use some similar strategies, but I want to know yours, so thanks for being here.
Hey, no problem, man. I like old Corey. I've known Corey for quite a while. I actually give him quite a bit of money. He gets in my wallet pretty regularly, actually. He's a hell of a sales guy. And he's hung out at my house. I've met him up in New York 1 or 2 times, and even I think in California. So Corey and I run into each other pretty often. So,
dude, where are you living right now? Where are we talking? This is your house, right?
I live in downtown Dallas. So I live in a high-rise right in downtown Dallas. So on the 9th floor, got a nice little view of the city. Y'all can see the kitchen, right? But I got a nice little view out here and everything. So
well, that light makes it look better, good on your face. I wouldn't be able to see you at all. So talk to me, brother. What is your magic? You're known as the hardcore closer. What does somebody need to know to actually close a deal? And I mean, you've got so many info products out there that can help serve people. So look him up, Ryan Stewman. You can find him anywhere and get a whole bunch of his value add. But what's your advice to someone about how they improve their sales? Or my subject of how do you sell a high-paying client?
Well, I have quite a bit of experience. Depending on what you call a high-paying client. To me, that's someone who pays $1,000 or more for something. To some people, that could be somebody who pays $1 million or more. So it depends on what level of life you're in business that you're playing on, right? But first, I'll address the whole hardcore closer thing. I got that name because I was actually I wasn't working for a title company, but I was working inside a title company, and I was trying to, entice loan officers to come in, let me shoot videos of them, let me do the things that I do right now that people pay me a bunch of money for. Back then, I was just trying to let them, let me get some test cases together, kind of deal. And I would come in, I put stuff together, and most of my friends are like skater dudes and surfer guys and stuff like that, totally different than me in life. And they're having a good time, living their own way, right? And here I am stressed out over business and everything. And they'd see my stuff and they go, man, that's hardcore, dude, right? It wasn't even really like the whole thing. Yes, I'm a good salesman. I've obviously sold a lot, man, and I'm very successful still now as a salesman. But that's kind of how that got down. And then working inside a title company, they were always calling each other closers and stuff. But it's funny, they weren't like salespeople. They were just like pencil pushers. They're like, these are the closing documents that we sell, right? It was like this joke's like the hardcore closers, like the little title lady over here with glasses that's like your grandma showing like a HUD-1 in a real estate deal. But meanwhile, it was like an inside joke like that. But meanwhile, I started getting on the phone and started making videos and selling people and doing what I've done for the last 5 years. And people started going, man, this guy's the hardcore closer. And it started off as like kind of a joke thing. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, yeah, I was a good salesman. It was kind of a joking thing. And all of a sudden, I just became this personality, which is kind of cool. It kind of allowed me to run congruent. So that's how that story came about. But and I got started really in the hardcore closing business as the hardcore closer in business, doing the consulting thing for high-end clients. Before I had any what I'd call low-ticket offers, anything under $1,000, I sold people, that were $1,000 a month, Sometimes it was, $1,600 a month. Sometimes it was $2,500 a month for 12-month contracts, right? Sometimes I would get them on a 12-month contract to pay it all up front in 5 months. You know what I mean? So say it's $25,000, I get you to pay it off January through May, and then you're still in the program until December, but I got my money halfway through, or a little bit shorter than halfway through the program. So,
well, what are your secrets to doing it? Because I appreciate the background there, because the hard car closer, I get your heart here. I don't get the fact that you're trying to jack someone and screw someone, and I think they could get that idea with hardcore closer. That everybody you're in front of, you're just trying to, man, I close them. I like the little old lady, like, yes, could I help you with the paperwork? But what's the mojo? How does someone close more deals? And now that's what you teach. I mean, do you come from, you got to close every deal, or how do you do it?
I'm not like that at all, because I think that when you have to close every deal, and this is going to be like, the sales community is going to be like, oh shit, here we go. Like, dude, I knew it, right? But I don't think that you have to close every deal. And I think sometimes you're better off not taking every deal. There was times when the mortgage business was going rampant, and my friends were taking deals and making a lot of money. And a lot of those guys went to federal prison. And I'm not saying that I haven't too, but not for mortgage stuff, right? But at the same time, it's like, hey, I'm glad I didn't take those deals. It could have been easy money, but at the same time, it just didn't feel right. And I still get that with clients and customers, not from the sense that they're maybe bad people or that we go to jail or something, but I don't want to take your money and then you not be happy with me taking your money. I don't want to sell you a car and then you drive around every day going, that son of a bitch that sold me this car, man, I hate him. I can't believe I'm stuck in traffic in this thing with no AC. Like, I don't want to be in that position, and I would rather not take your money and go find somebody's money that I can take, that I can help, than not.
So I hear that you're into service and making sure that they love you after and buy from you again versus hate your balls. Hey guys, welcome back to Greatness Quest. Today I'm with Ryan Stewman, who's known as the hardcore closer, but we were just talking about it's more about serving the client. What are you smiling about? You're like, hold on, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's just funny. It's like, he's known as the hardcore closer. It still cracks me up to this day, especially now that you get like the inside joke. It's like even funnier.
Right. Well, and we're talking about how you close deals, but it's not about trying to close every damn deal. It's not about trying to screw someone and take their money. It's more about what? What is it really?
Really, I think it's about personality match. So here's the problem. Most salesmen, they have a scarcity mentality. They think that there's not a lot of people like what they're looking to do business with, or they say, well, there's only a select amount of people in my market, and the Johnson & Johnson empire's already got it scooped up, or whatever excuse that they can come up with, right? When really and truthfully, there's like, I don't know, because I'm not a census worker, but there's like 7 billion people on this planet, right? There's somebody else out there that likes what you have. Yeah. And it's your job to be able to find them. And if you have to turn down a few people along the way that they might like what you have, but they might try to steal it, or they may like what you have, or they might try to, they might take your money and then want a refund or whatever the case, and all the other drama, or in the mortgage and real estate business, they might write a contract and then go out and buy a car halfway through the transaction. Right? Like, there's all sorts of things that can go wrong, right? So you don't want to attract those type of people, and at first it's hard. I'll give you an example. Real estate agents, that's a real estate agent's dreams to be like $1 million listing, right? Selling like top penthouses in New York or Beverly Hills or San Francisco or Miami, something like that, right? Or Dallas, Texas. Anyway, so, everybody's dreams to do that, or even in their area, really and truthfully. But what they don't want to do is they don't want to let go of the other houses to project their image. So they say, well, I can't stop taking these $60,000 trailer homes, because that's where my income comes from right now. Even though if you sell $1 million property, it's like 10. Actually, it's more than 10, but I don't feel like doing the math here. It's like a lot more than 10. It's 10, you know what I mean? The commission of 10 of these trailer houses with like a fraction of the work. People live in trailer houses have shitty credit, right? Meanwhile, people that buy $1 million houses have good credit and their assets and stuff in line. So, but they're scared to, like, they have that scarcity mentality. They're scared to let go of the little over here in order to grab hold of the lot over there. So
that's, I learned this early on, and I used to want to serve everyone. I got a big heart. I love service businesses, and I always try to do everything to like get that next client. Like, never let a client go, never let a dollar go, and want to serve them, help them. But sometimes you get a pain in the ass client. And that little pain in the ass client, I mean, I had a water sports business and they started bitching on the beach. And so I did something to accommodate them. And then we got them on their boat. They bitched on the boat. We gave them more service. Then they went ahead and they asked for a refund and they complained to the hotel. And we're at the Ritz-Carlton and they're like, hey, what the hell are you doing to this guy? And I'm like, this guy's the biggest pain in the ass the whole time. I should have just said no to his money. And I've had that example happen again and again and again until finally it like beat me in the head. Stop freaking saying yes to everybody. You know, it actually is one of the most freeing things you can do to say no to a client, because it's not the right, what'd you call it, a personality match, man. You got to find someone, and it makes space for your cool clients. But it is that scarcity mentality of, I only got 3 leads. You know, and someone just said no to me, and I don't know if there's any more fish in the sea, man. I'm not going to fall in love. They're not going to love me. So how do you deal with that? I mean, because how do you make sure you got enough leads?
First of all, you got to advertise, right? Early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. So you have to get your word out there. I believe there's 2 ways to advertise. Honestly, there's the easy way and the hard way. And the hard way is honestly marketing, not advertising. Marketing, where you're shaking hands, you're working Facebook, you're making videos, you're doing all this other stuff. That's marketing. Advertisements, where you're running paid traffic on Google, paid traffic on Facebook. You're running TV ads, radio ads, direct mail, advertisements in magazines, shit that costs you money, right?
And that's the easy way.
No. Yeah, that's the easy way, right? Marketing's the hard way, where you're having to go in and post in groups and provide free content, and you know what I mean? And like, you're just out there shaking hands and going to groups and passing out flyers and things like that, whereas advertising is the easy way. So you can either pay in money or you can pay in your time.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about that, because you said that you've restructured your business. When we were off camera just for a few minutes before we got on, you said, you know, I've got a lot of big ticket offers and I love to get people into that program. Costs them a bit of money, but we do some real magic and it happens. But you've been restructuring your business. Talk a little bit about that, because there's a way to say yes to maybe your client that isn't going to buy everything, but it's a stepping stone on the way to becoming a big ticket client, and then how you get them, or however you want to talk about it.
So, well, here's what my experience was. I started putting income limits on people that could join my big ticket offers, because the last thing I want somebody to do is spend $5,000 and then not have a single dime to do what I just talked about, which is advertise, right? So now all of a sudden you just spent $5,000, you're in a hurry to get your damn money back. But meanwhile, you're over here like marketing, right? Which there's nothing wrong with marketing. Marketing is a good thing. But you're over here marketing, you know, and you're doing things organic and everything else, and it's taking you a while to build that rapport and authority up. So I don't want to do that to somebody. If it's their last dollar, I don't want them to spend it with me. I'd rather them spend it somewhere else on a smaller marketing product that I have that would be able to allow them to grow into it, get comfortable with it, and then come back. That way, when they do invest with me, it's not, please don't let me fail, right? It's like, right. I got this. I'm confident. I've got a little bit of knowledge underneath me. And because I look at the stuff that I teach no different than if I was a college professor, right? So if you're coming in, you're not going to, if you're just starting college, you're not going to go to advanced level trigonometry, NASA, space empire, how to get to Venus in 3 days exploration, right? You're going to come in and you're going to take math, MAF, right? Yeah. They're going to teach you how to spell it correctly. So I try to get people started off depending on where they are in life. And what that's done for me is it allows me to give like a prescription to people. So when they come in, it's like I'm a doctor. It's like, Dr. Stewman, tell me where I can go. Here's where I'm at. Here's the amount of business I'm doing. Full transparency. I'm honest with them about what the price is up front, what they can get. I answer their questions and help them play according to where they're playing in life so that they can get to that next level. And you know what I find is that when someone comes in, they usually watch me for about 6 months, and then they'll buy my products, and they'll usually buy somewhere between a $200 to $1,000 product up front, and then they'll work on it, and it takes a while to go through my stuff. Like I said, it's like a college course, right? It takes a while to work on it, implement it, and then they'll generally come back, want to come to a live event, spend a few days with me, and then generally from that want to hang out for the long term because they see the value in it. So, and that's the idea behind it, right? It's not to continue getting their money over and over again, but once we get them in our family as a client, if they turn out to really be like the rest of us, then shit, why wouldn't we want them around forever? That's the like-minded or the people that you're looking for that we talked about earlier.
Okay, so you're talking about a diagnosis, like, so they come to you as a doctor, and you're like, they don't walk in, and everybody you see, you're like, hey, you need brain surgery. I can tell right now, you need brain surgery.
Right.
You do an analysis first, and you diagnose what you've got, and then you've been repackaging, or you've done this for years. It sounds like you have different pills, like here's an aspirin, here's an apple. Sometimes you need the aspirin, sometimes you need Tylenol, sometimes you need an apple. Take that,
sometimes you need medical marijuana. You know what I mean?
And sometimes, hey man, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to learn more about the gift that you're going to give away so that people can learn how to market and advertise, and then also how your stair step is working on how you can serve your client and build that relationship. You're watching Greatness Quest on the Whatever It Takes Network.
So I think what makes me a really good salesman these days is being able to diagnose somebody and already having that prescription for them, right? So in other words, if you're when you go into the doctor, they don't give you the same prescription across the board. They have something according to whether you have poison ivy or, an STD or whatever it is that you might have contracted on the way in. So, that's just kind of what a doctor's job is. And I try to look at mine the same way because doctors are really good salespeople, and the pharmacy companies have pretty much come up with an answer for anything that can go wrong with you. And those are two, like the medical industry is huge. When you go into any city, anywhere, they have biggest buildings in the entire city or hospitals and stuff, man. So why not follow a model that's purely proven at this point, right?
I like it.
And try to be similar to them. So that's really what I copy my model off of. That and Lil Wayne, he does he's on everybody's album. So I'm trying to get on as many TV shows and podcasts and stuff like that. I think that's a good business model to follow.
I like it. So now, talk to me about your free gift, because I want to go ahead and make sure we spend enough time there. There's some real good value there, and teach me something that they're going to get, because I want people to go get that. I always ask any of my guests to give away something awesome that you can use right away, because it's not just this show, it's about what you can go implement. And I know you're a college professor, so it'll take you more than a minute or two to tell me. So what's up with that?
So I run this thing once a quarter at my house called Break Free Academy. And what it is it's 3 days where people come from all over. We've had, international clients come in, and I say we, it's me. Had international, I don't know why, it's from old management styles, like we as a team, but nowadays it's just me, right? So it's not like I got schizophrenia, it's just me, but it's
dude, I'm on your team. It's we. I'm here.
Yeah, we got this, man. Mm-hmm. So what happens, people come here, and for 3 days I put automated systems, teach them marketing, put automated systems in place on day 2. Day 1, teach them marketing. Day 2, put automated systems in place for them. And day 3, we run traffic to those automated systems, right? Basically, we advertise. So a person can literally show up here with no web pages, no social media presence, nothing. And they leave with a web page that's generating leads for them, and they're spending about $25 a day, right? I've been doing this for a couple of years at this point, and then I started calling it Break Free Academy about a year and a half ago, and I do these once a quarter. Well, because of that, I can only take on like 8 people, right? Because if you're here at my house, I can't have a whole bunch of, and I don't mean in my living room. I live in a high rise, so we have like, the Aqua Lounge place, the Grand Ballroom, as they might call it over in London. So like I have that thing, right? And plus, if you have 20 people in there and everybody has technology questions, it's not long before you're like, you know what, screw you guys, you can all have your freaking money back, right? It's like, it's only a matter of seconds. So I try to take on 8 people a quarter and then, help them through those 3 days, get all their stuff in line. Well, because I can't take a lot of people on, I've had a lot of people ask me, so like, how do I get on the waiting list or whatever the case may be? And I've been recording with these people because up until recently they got 90 days of support as well. So once a week we recorded a hangout with them. All the ads that I put together I recorded and sent over to these people. So what I've done is I've taken all those recordings and put them in one central location called Break Free Academy Digital, BFA Digital, right? And so what that is it's like like I was telling you, it's like a master's course, really like a doctorate degree that you could get in marketing and advertising, on social media, psychology and sales behind these direct sales letters that I've written, the audios, these like secret videos. I mean, it's like I said, it's almost 80 different videos you can get access to at this time. So the reason why I say that is the offer that I'd like to give everybody that's watching this is you can go over to, actually the link's going to be on this page, so I'll just leave it to him at that.
You know what, let me give it right now so that we've got it on audio as well. greatnessquest.com/hardcore closer. So
okay, cool.
Hardcore closer, they'll get that. Go ahead, brother.
And then all I ask in exchange is that give me your name and email, right? So I know who you are. So we like validate that you're a human. And then you'll get like an hour and 15-minute training that's going to show you how to run Facebook ads, some new changes that Facebook's doing. Because most of my business is centered around Facebook. I try other platforms. I just got a bill on my phone less than 20 minutes before we started this from Twitter for $100, and I didn't make shit from it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, Twitter's just it's not working for me for my target audience. Real estate agents and loan officers aren't on there right now, and so but if I was selling clothes, I could probably kill it on there, right? So there's like different different things, but I'm always trying new stuff, and Facebook's really the basis for me. And so what you're going to learn in that hour plus long video is, some Facebook strategies that you can, as soon as you're done watching it, whether you make the decision to buy the product or not, that's at the end of that, as soon as you're done watching it, you can stop right there and go implement that stuff and see results. Like it's real stuff. You'll see screenshots behind the scenes of how I do it and everything else. So all that's free, man.
Brother, thank you so much. That sounds like a great gift. And what I'm grateful you did is I was thinking, hey man, 3 days. I want that whole thing. I want to be in your living room and make that happen. I'm working a deal with Corey Shanes. We're going to do something very similar for our clients, obviously tweaked a little different, and we're not calling it Breakthrough Academy. We're calling it Break Free Academy 2. Advanced. But no, anyway. But what I like is you said you broke it into like an hour and 15 minutes. Like I can take that pill. I was almost thinking about. I was imagining drinking your whole course out of a fire hose, like just too much. So I like an hour where I can get a result. And what also makes what I appreciate is it feels like it's Goodwill Marketing. This is something I just did a webinar last night with a group, an amazing group, and we were talking about Goodwill Marketing and how the world has changed. Nobody wants to hear about your marketing message where it's like, hey, buy my stuff. Hey, buy my stuff. This is, hey, experience my stuff. Get a result with my stuff. Let me give you value first, and then if you want, you're more than welcome to go ahead and buy my stuff. I would love to have you do it, and I'll take good care of you. And if you got results already, what do you think about that as far as the whole concept of Goodwill Marketing? And does this fall in line with that? And is that actually something you use with your advertising? You said you pay for advertising. So what are you giving away, or what are you promoting?
So here's why you stay on till the end of webinars or podcasts or TV shows, whatever you want to call them, right? Here's a bit of information that's really going to change the game for the people that stayed on to the end. So there's a template, an outline, a process that I follow to be able to go through these. When you're running advertisements, oftentimes you're not dealing with people that you're dealing with complete strangers. And so when I'm doing my marketing or advertising, there's a message that I'm trying to convey across in 3 steps. Step 1 is before you saw this advertisement, and this doesn't have to be blatantly said, right? But it's implied in what I'm doing in each of my videos. Like before you saw this, you probably have no clue who I was. Okay, so I know that they're cold traffic, so I'm a stranger. So the quicker that I understand that these freaking people, so many of us are like, you should know me. I'm so cool. You should know me. I'm in your niche, right? It's like, first you don't know who I am, but step 2 is while I have your attention, right? You could be on the phone with them and word it differently, but we'll use it for video purposes. And this one's like, while I have your attention, I'm going to demonstrate why you should be paying attention to me right now. Okay. And then after I'm done demonstrating my expertise and why you paid attention to me, I'm going to demonstrate why you should give me your money. And I think those 3 steps, really super simple. There's nothing complicated about it. But once you understand that that's what you're doing, you're a complete stranger and you're selling them on the fact of why they should be listening to you. Once you got them listening to you, you're going to demonstrate why you're going to edify the fact that they're listening to you so that they don't feel like a dumbass and go, dude, I just wasted 30 minutes of my life listening to this guy that just taught me nothing. And the third thing is you're going to get them to make that next step forward, right? It's like, hey, you spent this time, listen to me. Now that you know I'm an expert, here's what I'd like for us to do for the next step.
Well, and I think it's really important because that's the psychology that is unconsciously going on in everybody's mind. They're like, why am I paying attention to this in the first place? So you need to tell them. And it's okay to say, hey, by the way, and a lot of people think, oh, I got to come up with some tricky way to say this. You can just come out and say, dude, here's why you should be paying attention to me right now. And you can tell them what it is. And here's why I think you should work with me. And if you liked anything I shared with you, go use it. And to just be straight up. A lot of times we think it needs to be all tricky, and I don't think it does. You're saying you don't have to say, hey, before you saw this, you probably didn't have a clue who I was. And you don't have to say that, but you could.
I do.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, man. I got a lot of buddies that get their ads account shut down with Facebook. It's because they're not being upfront. Meanwhile, my ads are going, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to do for you. But at the end, there's going to be a sales pitch, and I'm completely transparent. And you know what? Nobody's ever complained against me because I'm as honest as they go. And if Facebook reviews it, they're like, the dude told you right there on the thing that you registered for that he was going to try to sell you something. Where meanwhile, everybody keeps getting their accounts shut down, going, there's nothing for sale in this webinar. And they're like, but give us 25 grand.
Yeah.
And so I'm straight up in Facebook, even a place that is killing advertisers, the small business advertisers right now, they love me because I'm just blatantly honest with how I run stuff, and I think that's a breath of fresh air to the marketplace too. They're like, oh, All right, cool. So we're actually imagine if you're going to go to a timeshare and they're like, hey, come step into a sales pitch. You're like, well, you got to respect the hell out of them for at least saying it is what it is, right? You got free donuts in there?
Well, you got to have the free donuts. I mean, or the Disney tickets or whatever it's going to be. I love those guys because they can sell and they always make it seem like it's the greatest thing in the world, and I'm sure it is for the right guy and gal. I mean, I've bought 2 of them. No, I haven't. But but I have been sold. So
been sold before too.
Something you just mentioned. I want to 2 things before we jump off here, and this is key. This is something Corey told me about you that I want to talk about. That'll be the last thing. But this part is authenticity. I've been interviewing guys and gals now for a long time, for years, right? And it seems like lately this is all that people are coming up with is be transparent. Whether it's I'm talking about someone's book, I'm talking about their marketing, you're talking right now about being, salesy, not salesy, or just being like loved by your people that you're talking to. Being authentic, I think, is so key. Talk to me about that and how much that is part of your strategy, and if you would advise that, or how do you actually tell people to be? Advise?
I'm just myself. I've tried to fit inside boxes before, and I don't do that well. It's hard to cage me in, and it just frustrates the other people around me too. I just found that, and in sales, even when I was in mortgages or when I flipped homes or whatever I've done, I've just always, even car washes when I sold them, I've always just found that if you just inform people, then you can allow them to make a decision. If you know exactly what you're doing, I've always, played the part of an expert. If I was to go do something, I'm going to do my research on it. If I'm going to sell cars, I'm going to drive them things all day long until I get it up, right? If I'm going to sell houses, I'm going to go tour every house all day. I'm going to ask Google what kind of tile this is, what kind of cabinetry this is, what color this is on the walls. I'm going to learn everything I can about every house that I can possibly access so that I'm a plethora of knowledge and I'm ahead of the game. And so I think at that point, if I'm ahead of the game and everybody else, and I offer you the knowledge that you want, and I'm priced reasonably, oftentimes I'm higher than everybody else, but I feel like I deliver better than everybody else. But if I'm priced reasonably, which means that you can reasonably see yourself paying me, then why would it make sense for you to go anywhere else? And it's like, hey, you know what? I go across the street. I live by the mall, right? Right downstairs is the Men's Warehouse, and underneath my high rise, and right across the street's Nordstrom's. Man, you know what I mean? And both of those stores exist, and both of them are super successful, right? But there's people that won't go in the Men's House that go in Men's Warehouse that go in Nordstrom's, and vice versa. And you'll catch both of them going, I wouldn't wear that thing. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that there's a market for everybody.
And a lot of people think, oh my God, I can't partner with someone. I can't have my business just like him or her or whatever because it's competition. You and I shouldn't be doing this. Both of us are into sales. Look, mine even says sales on the damn cover of my book. I can't interview this guy. But, the Lowe's expansion plan for the hardware store is to find out where there's a Home Depot and plant right next to them. And then they think, oh my God, well, that's going to steal market share. No, it doesn't. They both do better because that Home Depot says, hallelujah, look who's just moved over. Because then they're going to get more business. So let me ask you, this is just completely off topic, but I think Corey was talking about the way you deliver results is he was so impressed with how you leverage your time to make sure that you spend time in the zone and that you always have an assistant or people helping you do stuff. So again, one of the cool reasons to stick to the end is not only do you get the free gifts, but you get the free insights here. So talk to me about your psychology, your strategy, whatever. We only got like 1 or 2 minutes left before you got a GM. So how do you do it?
Well, I record everything I do. So I have an assistant that's been with me for 2 years now. And everything that we do, we record. So every time I teach her something new that she can duplicate, we record it. That way, if heaven forbid something happened to her or somebody offer a better position or whatever the case, you'd have to really take her away from me. But you know what I mean? Like that I've got these things recorded and in place to where I don't have to spend my time training somebody else again. I can just load them up on videos and tell them, here's an index. And when you need to do this, this is where you look up to find out, and then you just follow the bouncing ball. The other thing is I've leveraged, like I said, creating all these different products from $27 to $25,000. That way, when somebody buys obviously a $27 product, I'm not on the phone with them. Oftentimes they've gone to the internet, they've searched something, or they saw something on Facebook, they've entered their email address and made a purchase. So that doesn't take up any of my time. And even if I did get on the phone with somebody and sell them a $100 product or something like that, it's usually a 10-minute conversation and then the product's delivered and that's it. It's not like I'm having human interaction. It's a lot more money for that. So I find that, that makes me work with only people that I want to work with. I probably wouldn't take their money and just be their friend anyway. If that, you know what I mean? If they weren't clients, I'd probably just be their friend. Don't tell them that. But at the same time, it's like, it allows me to leverage my time. I do everything by group. Every Monday, I have all my clients that pay for the interaction get in one place for an hour and a half, and we discuss it right then and there. They save all their stuff for the week unless it's something that's an emergency and pressing. They save all their questions, and I leverage my time that would other be spent out between 20 people right there in an hour and a half each week. And that's all I really have to do each week to pay my bills right this second. But I choose to do more, like create content and stuff like that, put more things in place. So
brilliant. So
man.
You use a team, you get an assistant, you record everything you do, and you deliver your content in a group session, or even your coaching in this way in a group session, unless it's an emergency. So you're basically trying to make sure, how can I get, since you know that answers to one question are going to go ahead and serve more people, you deliver that in as leveraged a way as you can.
Absolutely, every time.
Brilliant. All right, brother, we are basically wrapping this sucker up. Any last words for anybody watching right now?
Hey, yeah, go over to hardcorecloser.com and make sure that you sign up for the stuff there. If you don't like cussing, I'm probably not for you. It's probably you should stay away. But you'd be surprised how many preachers and stuff subscribe over there, just because it's like we're totally overlooking that if it doesn't bother you that much. And you'll probably laugh. Do not drink like water while you're reading my stuff. Which might spit over your computer screen. Meantime, there's a lot of useful trainings and stuff over there too.
That's great. This is Ryan Stewman. Actually, I'm not Ryan Stewman. That is Ryan Stewman. I'm Trevor Crane. And you're watching Greatness Quest. I'll see you here next week while bringing you someone else extraordinary to help you get ahead in business and in life. All right. Thank you, brother.
Greatness Quest is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.